What's up, you guys? This is Ryan Mickler. I am the host and the founder of the Order Man podcast and movement. I am glad that you're here. I just want to jump right into this one today. I want to talk with you about something that we addressed on the Ask Me Anything on Wednesday. And by the way, if you aren't subscribed to the podcast, make sure you are so you don't miss this Friday field notes or the Ask Me Anything or the interview shows that we do. Anyways, as Kip and I were answering a question, I brought up the analogy of being 1 degree off. If you were on a flight, for example, from LA to New York, and you were just 1 degree off as you left LA and you embarked upon your flight, if you were 1 degree off north, you'd probably land by the time you got to the East Coast, somewhere in Maine or maybe Nova Scotia. If you were 1 degree off to the south, you might end up somewhere in North or South Carolina or maybe even Florida. And the point that I made as I talked about this analogy is that even though the 1 degree off doesn't seem like a big deal, compounded over time, it becomes an exceptionally large deal. And it will completely take you off course to somewhere you don't want to go. So it isn't the one cheat meal that you have that's going to derail you. It's the cheat meal after cheat meal after cheat meal after cheat meal after cheat meal that's going to derail you. It isn't the time that you sleep in or the one day that you happen to miss your exercise or the one conversation that doesn't go well in your relationship. It's the compounding effort. And by the way, this works both positively and negatively. The 1 degree difference that you make in your life for the better will compound over time if you can string enough of those wins together. The negative choices that you make will compound over time if you string enough of those negative consequences or negative actions, I should say, or lack thereof together. And so I have a lot of guys who will reach out to me on the social media accounts and email and everywhere else, and they'll wonder why they're not experiencing the results that they would like. Why don't they have the strength and the body fat percentage that they're after? Why aren't they thriving in their marriage? Why can they not resonate with their children? Why is their career going nowhere? And why are people, their employers, passing them over for promotions? They can't seem to connect the dots between the small, incremental, seemingly insignificant decisions that they've made, compounded over time, has produced and yielded the results that they are experiencing, again, both for the positive and negative right now. So I would ask you, as you consider that going into the weekend, what is it that you're going to do with your time? How are you going to spend your attention and your energy and your focus? Are you going to be making small decisions that don't seem like a big deal, that over time will produce less than desirable results? Or are you going to do the things that you should be doing, the things that you know you should be doing, the things you've identified that are important to you, that move the needle in the right direction? But here's the trap. A lot of people don't do those small incremental adjustments, those small little daily tasks they know they need to be doing because it won't move the needle in a big way. See, everybody's out there looking for the home run. They're looking for sexy and exciting and the thing that's going to move the needle the most. And while you're going to get some of that, what you need to do is you need to focus on the 1 degree efforts that are going to produce those results inevitably. You know, my baseball coach used to talk with us about home runs. You know, you'd have guys that are just swinging from bottom up and they're swinging for the fences. And those are the guys that strike out the most. And yet the guys that try to hit the base hits, the line drives, put them on a rope, those are the guys that end up hitting the most home runs. Why is that? Because they have the mechanics right. And once you get the mechanics of a swing right, you're bound to put more out of the park. And you're also bound to get yourself on base more often than the guys who are just swinging for the fences. So which one are you? Are you the guy swinging for the fences, hoping that all you need to do is make that one bit of contact and hope that everything else will fall into line? Or are you the guy that's going to get on base every time you get up to bat? My friend and mentor, Sean Whalen, says success swinging singles. Success swinging singles. That's exactly what I'm talking about right here. Singles, doubles, line drives, getting on base every time. And so what do these activities look like? What are the things that you need to be doing on a daily basis? And I would tell you and urge you to take notes on what I'm about to share with you here. Or maybe you've identified your own list of daily tasks that need to be completed that don't seem sexy and don't seem glamorous and don't seem all that exciting and don't really seem like they're going to move the needle. See, again, what most people will do is because they can't move the needle as much as they would like, they don't do anything. Oh, you mean, Ryan, just not hitting the snooze? You mean that's all I have to do? That couldn't possibly be the solution to my problem. And so what do? They keep hitting the snooze button. Oh, Ryan, no family dinner. Oh, that's not important when it comes to connecting with my wife and kids. You don't know our situation. Our situation's unique, and we can't do that because of our schedules and our time and everything else. And then they wonder why in 4, 5, 6 years, maybe 10 years, they experience a divorce or they're not connected with their children. It's the same thing with eating junk food. It's the same thing with missing your exercise and your workouts. And by the way, we know this. Neuroscience suggests and shows that once you engage in an activity, you are going to quite literally start rewiring your brain to believe that that's the proper way of doing things. And so if you miss a workout or you hit the snooze button, guess what? You just told your brain that that's the way it should operate. And the human brain is always looking for the path of least resistance. So what are you bound to do tomorrow? Hit the snooze button. And the next day, hit the snooze button. This is why when I don't want to work out and I don't want to get up and I don't want to do the things that I know I should be doing, the things I've committed to doing, I force myself to do it. And it's as simple as that. Ryan, how do you develop more discipline? You just make the decision and you do it. You don't always have to be happy. You don't always have to be excited about it, but it does have to get done because I want to wire my brain to do the right things, to move in the right direction, and to create the right results for me and the people that I have a responsibility and care for. So, what are these seemingly insignificant 1-degree type decisions and activities that we can be performing on a daily basis? The first one, get up on time. Simple as that. Just get up on time. I don't know what time that is for you. Maybe it's 4:30 and you're part of the whatever 4:45 club, or maybe it's 6, or maybe it's 8. I don't know your schedule, but just get up on time. You know what time that is. And when you get up, don't take this little device into your hand and start punching away on the keyboard thinking that well, you're not even really thinking. I know when I fall into this trap, I'm not really thinking, but it's just habit, right? So don't start punching away on the phone, getting dragged into social media and emails and all the things that shouldn't have your time and attention. Get up, move your body, stretch, drink some water, rehydrate, and then get into moving. All right, guys, you got to move every single day, whether that's going to do some strength training or going for a run or doing a yoga session or going to jujitsu or whatever. Go move your body. A lot of guys will say, well, I do my training at night. And if that's what you do, great, but you still have to move in the morning. You've been sitting still, lying still for the past 6, 7, 8 hours. Your body needs to stretch out. It needs to move. You need to activate yourself. And so get moving. And then when you get back, have some sort of hygiene routine. Shower, shave, brush your teeth, like have a routine, build in a routine, make the bed. That's another one. I think it was Admiral McCraven who wrote the book. I believe, I could be wrong on that. You guys can correct me if I am. Wrote the book, Make Your Bed, I believe it's called. And he talks about the importance of getting that small victory under your belt. And some guys, and I've said it too, oh, that's not important. Oh, that doesn't have any relevancy in things. You bet your ass it does. Because the way you do that is an indicator regarding how you'll do the rest of your day. So get up, get hydrated, get moving, have a hygiene routine, make your bed, clean your room, do what you have to do, organize your office. And then one thing that I do every day that, well, I'll tell you this, say it the other way. If I miss doing this every single day, it's my battle planner, planning out each and every day. The day just inevitably goes worse. Inevitably. If I don't sit down and start mapping out how I'm going to perform, how I'm going to show up, how I'm going to do my day, what activities and priorities and tasks need to be accomplished, I'm going to get less done. I'm going to be less effective and less productive. And then when I'm done with my workday, I'm going to be disengaged from my family because I'm going to be so focused on all the things that I didn't get done that I should have throughout the day that I can't be available and present for the people that I love, namely my family. And so doing something as small as writing out my tasks and just going through it and thinking, okay, well, I got to do this and I got to call this person and I got to reach out to this individual and I got to send this email and I got to work on this task makes a huge, huge difference with how you're going to spend your day. Then you get into lunch and you get into your activities and you get into things. Don't be distracted. Carve out time to be on your phone, to be on social media, time block for emails. These are little 1-degree differentiators. A lot of people will say, Ryan, what's the number one thing you can do to be successful? It isn't just one thing. It never is. If it were just one thing, I think everybody would be independently wealthy. They'd be extremely happy and fulfilled. They'd have the 6-pack abs. They'd be making the kind of money they want to make, having fulfillment in their career. If it was just one thing, it isn't. It's the 1-degree things. It's all of them. It's the little things that compound throughout the day. Another thing, how do you show up? How do you present yourself? What clothes are you wearing? What's your grooming like? How do you communicate to other people? What does your space look like? Is it clutter and chaos and confusion everywhere in your office or in your bedroom or in your car? Are there Burger King wrappers all over the floor and trash everywhere and it just looks disgusting? Because if it looks that way, odds are that that's going to spill over into other facets of your life. The mess of your car is going to spill over into your relationship. The mess of your office is going to spill over to the relationship that you have with your clients. It's the way it works. So you want to get better? Keep a clean office, keep a clean car, keep a clean, organized, thoughtful environment, one that's conducive to your success. Now, to continue to go throughout the day, when you get home, what are you doing between the time that you're working and the time that you're engaged with your family? Are you decompressing? Are you shutting work off? Are you digesting what happened throughout the day? Are you planning what might happen tomorrow? Are you gearing up for how you're going to perform with your family and how you're going to show up? Because if you don't, then you're going to show up less effective. Are you having dinner? Are you sitting down with your family and discussing ideas and thoughts and insights and what's working and what isn't, what your family enjoyed throughout the day and what they struggled with? Little small conversations and questions, 1-degree conversations and questions that you can have that will improve the relationships that you're after. And what do you do once your kids go to bed and you're winding down for the night? Do you sit your ass on the couch and watch a movie or watch part of the latest series that you're watching? Or do you pick up a book and do you read 10 pages, 15 pages, read for a half an hour? Oh, Ryan, man, how's that going to improve my life? That's not going to change my life. It's going to change your life if you do it every day for the next 60, 90, 120, 365 days. And that's what I'm talking about. 1-degree compounded over time consistently without fail is what moves the needle the furthest. And it's predictable, by the way. I don't want varying results. I don't want up and down. I want highs and lows and everything else. I want predictable, steady results. And I do that by showing up consistently. And inevitably, I know that I will produce the results that I'm after. What time are you going to bed? You going to bed at midnight or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock every single night and getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep? Or are you going to bed a half an hour to an hour earlier and getting the full 7 to 8 hours? Because I can assure you, I can guarantee you can go back and listen to our guests on sleep. And I can assure you that the studies suggest that getting the proper amount of sleep and the right type of sleep is going to drastically increase your performance. And I get it. I've said things like, I'll sleep when I'm dead and sleep is for the weak and I only need 5 hours. And you know what? I maybe somebody can do it like that. I can't personally do it like that. So I'm not gonna rely on my ego or pride in saying that a lack of sleep is the great indicator of strength or some sort of misguided sense of masculinity. No, I'm going to get the proper amount of sleep so I can wake up and be productive and serve the people I have a desire to serve. 1-degree actions that are going to produce the biggest results over time. So guys, think about your day. I've got let me put a couple of things aside here for a second because I want to show you something. I've got a note. Whoops, just dropped my watch there. I've got a notepad right here in addition to my battle planner that I just showed you there a second ago. And I'm writing down ideas and insights and thoughts and conversations I want to have and questions that I want to ask of my guests and you guys. And, I'm writing this stuff down. And these types of things are important. They help me organize and keep my thoughts together and share things that are coherent and productive for myself and the other people that I'm trying to serve. But one of the things that I do inside of this book is I inventory my day. What went well? What didn't go well? How can I improve tomorrow? How can I get better tomorrow? What does my activity list look like? What's been productive? What hasn't? These are all things that I challenge and urge you to do. At least take some time this weekend and think about how your day goes and ask yourself, in what way can I improve just 1 degree? Don't swing for the fences. Swing for the single, swing for the base hit. And then when you get on base, you can worry about stealing second. You can worry about, another situation happening where you get to round second, to round third, and come home and score the way that you want to. But think about the base hits, think about the line drives, think about the small, seemingly insignificant actions. And by the way, this is what high achievers do. A lot of people think, oh, well, high achievers, they got lucky, or they just happen to be in the right place at the right time, or they had this big investment payoff. And I would say there's some fortunate events. Let's not discount that. A lot of us have events in our lives that are beyond our control that are very fortunate. And yet I've talked with a lot of people who have a series of fortunate events that have happened to squander them because they haven't done the basics well. What are the basics? And as you inventory your day and you think about how you spend your day and your time, ask yourself, in what specific way can I improve just 1 degree? And make a list. Well, I'm going to wake up today. I'm going to wake up 15 minutes earlier. See, a lot of people will hear that immediately. I already know what you're thinking because I used to think it too. 15 minutes early. Oh, that's nothing. That's not even worth doing. Well, 15 minutes earlier is better than 15 minutes later. What can you do in that 15 minutes? Well, you can get a stretch in. You can get a quick exercise in. You can plan out your day. You can map out your day. You can spend some time visualizing what you want to accomplish, how you want to live your life. I mean, there's a lot that you can do in 15 minutes. And if you wake up 15 minutes earlier, you're going to be able to accomplish it. Same thing with going to bed 15 minutes earlier. What's it going to look like if you have that big drink of water as you wake up and hydrate your body? What's it going to look like if you exercise? What's it going to look like if you have family dinner or you decide to read 10 or 20 pages of a book? These are the little things that you can do. It's entirely within your control. And most of us won't do it because we don't think it'll move the needle as much as we would like. And guys, I'm all for going big. I want to go big. I want to produce big results. I want to have all those accolades and accomplishments and success and everything that I hope to accomplish. But this is the way you do it. And every once in a while, you're going to hit the home runs, but it's going to become more frequent because you're getting the singles right. So guys, think about the 1 degree difference. 1 degree is what differentiates. Well, think about that in racing, for example. I mean, it's a fraction of a percent of a time. That's what spells the difference between a winner and a loser. It's the guy that puts in a half an hour more or puts in a little more effort. The guy that gets a promotion is the guy that landed 1 extra contract, 1 extra sale. The guy that has an engaged family with his wife and kids is the one that sits down and spends 20, 30, 40 minutes over dinner with his family engaged. And where are you dinking around spending 30, 40 minutes that you could redeploy to another more effective, productive pursuit and use of your time? Think about it, guys. 1 degree, that's all we need. And tomorrow it's 1 degree, and the next day it's 1 degree, and the next day it's 1 degree, and so on and so forth. And before you know it, we look back and we turn around and we realize, oh my goodness, look how far I've come by doing the little things well. And by the way, if you want to do the big things well, you haven't earned that right until you get the little things down. I have a lot of guys who will tell me, oh, Ryan, if I just had that much money, then I would be successful. Or if I had access to that gym, then I would have, the body that I want. Or if my boss was this, or my wife was that, or my kids were acting this way, then I would be happy. No, that's not how it works. You aren't entitled to the result that you haven't earned. So get so exceptionally good at the little things that when the big things present themselves, you will be completely and adequately prepared and ready. And we've heard that adage about luck. Luck is when preparation and opportunity meet. I would hate for there to be a situation when an opportunity presents itself and either A, you don't even acknowledge it because you can't see it because you're not in that mindset, or B, you acknowledge it, but you can't do anything about it because you haven't been prepared by doing the little things, the 1% degree type things. Get after it this week, guys. Get those things done. And I guarantee you will start to see leaps and bounds in the progress on whatever facet of life you're wanting to improve. Probably all facets of life, because isn't that how we all want to improve? All right, guys, get after it this weekend. Don't allow this weekend to be an opportunity to slip through your fingers, to be unintentional about the way that you spend your time, to go 1 degree backwards, always 1 degree forward. It will always, always serve you well. We'll be back next week. Until then, go out there, take action, and become the man you are meant to be.